This is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com. We're back once again with Tim Alcorn from AM 930 WEOL. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well. How appropriate is it that on Veterans Day weekend, as we honor the veterans, we are here at the Veteran Service Center at Lorain County Community College. They have a whole team here at LCC that works with veterans in the area as far as getting back to school and that sort of thing. We'll talk more about it a little bit later on, but couldn't be more appropriate to be in the Veteran Service Center for this week's video shoot, and it's great to be back because that means we're talking more high school football playoff action.
Yeah, it's not a regular week. We're into the playoffs, and we're down to just a few teams here.
Yeah, we are. As far as Week 11, the first round of the playoffs, one team out of Lorain County, a winner. That was the Avon Eagles, a very impressive win for Avon as they knocked off Toledo St. John. The final in that one was 28-12. The other three Lorain County teams that were in action last Friday night, boy, a heartbreaking loss for the Lorain High Titans, the number 8 seed. They go to Toledo, take on Toledo Whitmer, the number 1 seed, and Lorain loses on the final play of the ball game. A field goal by Whitmer knocks off the Titans 31-28. So a real tough setback for Lorain High. But keep in mind, this is a very, very young football team. They got a slew of sophomores that started in that ball game last Friday night. Dalen Dower, Tyshawn Lighty, Savon Chavis, Cairo Smith. I mean, they've got 10th graders that were playing in the regionals last Friday. So Lorain will be back under their great head coach, Dave McFarland. Boy, Midview with a tough loss. They get beat on a trick play by Olmsted Falls in the final minute of the ball game, an unbelievable ending. So Olmsted Falls, they now move on to take on Wadsworth. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. But Midview with a tough setback, but what a great season. DJ Shaw, the head coach over at Midview, put together a tremendous campaign in what was supposed to be a retooling, a rebuilding year for Midview, and yet their quarterback, I know we talked about him quite a bit during these weekly video shoots. Seamus Higley had a great season for Midview. Connor Wolf, their running back, just had a phenomenal campaign. Nick Crum, wide receiver. So certainly a tip of the cap to the Midview Middies, even though they fell last Friday night. And then Clearview, they had a tough loss to close out the season, went down to Clear Fork, and they got beat pretty soundly, 44-0. But Mike Collier and his group, they got back to the playoffs. Clearview hadn't been in postseason play for a while, and even though they lost 44-0 to their team, Drew Engel, their great running back, Anthony Terry, their quarterback, they had a very, very nice campaign. So, yeah, Avon moves on. They've got a ball game Friday night against Medina Highland. Olmsted Falls now takes on Wadsworth. And how about Black River? Black River with a thumping last week. They really took apart Gilmore Academy. Boy, they've got a three-headed monster at running back. 3 guys that can really run the football. Jacob Campbell, he rushed for a huge amount of yards last Friday night. He's joined in that backfield by Riley Gibbs, Trevor Sexton. It's kind of a 3-headed monster for Black River, so they move on. They'll be taking on Wickliffe this Friday night. Alan Young, one of the great coaches in Lorain/Medina County. We talk about how that's kind of a shared school between the two counties in the area, but Al does a great job. They've got Wickliffe this Friday night.
That sounds good. I think we're just going to take them. I think we're just going to pull them in. They're officially just a Lorain County team. We're going to work for our audience. That's it. It's a Lorain County team from now on.
It's interesting. Our tour guide here at Lorain County Community College, Steve Sefcik and I were talking about this before we started this week's video. I think the actual school building sits in Medina County, but the school population is pretty much split right down the middle. I don't have the official figures from the school, but I think it's about 50-50. So, yeah, when they're advancing in the playoffs, we'll claim them as a Lorain County school.
That's right. Or we'll just lying. 90% from Lorain County. It's fine. So let's talk about this week, Tim. Where are you going to be? What's going on? And let's break down some of those games.
Well, I mentioned Avon coming off that big win last Friday night. They got some tremendous performances. Their junior quarterback, Ryan Malloy, they have one of the top receivers, certainly in Lorain County, if not Northeast Ohio, and Chris Mullins. David Orlando, another receiver that can do some damage for them, and a great running back in Eberhardt, Tony Eberhardt. So they move on this week. They take on Medina Highland, which is a team we cover quite a bit on WEOL in our Medina County matchup. So that game will be played over at Strongsville. That'll be our radio game. That's the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. So Avon, the top seed in the region, still unbeaten at 11-0. Highland coming in at 9-2. Then on Stream 2 on our mobile app and on WEOL.com, we'll have Olmsted Falls, that great win against Midview. They take on Wadsworth. That's the 2-3 matchup. So the winner of Avon and Highland will get the winner of Wadsworth and Olmsted Falls. So those are the 2 regional semifinals. Again, that O Falls Wadsworth game, we'll have that one on WEOL.com. It's our Stream 2 matchup on the web and on the mobile app. And then we just talked about Black River. Black River, the Pirates taking on a Wickliffe team. And Wickliffe pulled an upset last week. They were the 7 seed taking on a 2 seed, and they won that ball game. So Black River taking on Wickliffe. And, of course, for Black River, looking to just keep that momentum going after that huge win last Friday night. So we'll see if they can keep it going as they try to kind of keep that momentum after their victory over Gilmore Academy. That game to be played at North Ridgeville. So it's good to see a Lorain County school actually hosting a playoff game, and that'll be Stream 3 on WEOL.com and on the WEOL mobile app, Bruce.
Okay. It's time.
Oh, thinking cap time.
Thinking cap time.
Well, you never let me get away without
No,
putting the cap on.
absolutely not.
Do you? Does it fit all right this week?
It's yeah, it actually looks like you might have tightened up those straps a little bit. All right, so here, we're going to go 50-50. I'm going to give you one, and then you're going to give me one. So,
well, I'm going to give you a thinking cap question?
Well, you're going to answer it, but you're doing all the work today.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's a stunner.
Right on. Here it is. Here it is. Who has the challenge this week?
Wow, that is one to think about. Who has the biggest challenge? I'll say Olmsted Falls. Great win over Midview. They got that incredible play at the end. Jack Spellacy hooks up with Braden Galaska on a halfback option pass to win it for Olmsted Falls against Midview. They're taking on a Twinsburg team that's the number 2 seed in that region. I mentioned Avon is the number 1 seed, but a lot of people think Twinsburg can actually come out of that region. They are a phenomenal football team. They rolled up 61 points last week. So I'll say the Bulldogs. I'll say Olmsted Falls really has the biggest challenge this week as they take on a Twinsburg ball club that has played some excellent football throughout the year. So I'm going with O Falls as far as the biggest challenge here in Week 12.
Okay, and your question?
My question that I was thinking about earlier was when you look at these matchups, teams that are coming off wins, who was the most impressive last Friday night? I'm going to go with Black River. They were really impressive. I mean, they just physically punished that Gilmore Academy team. So, and again, not that the other teams weren't impressive. Avon with their win, and even in a losing cause, Lorain and Midview played very good football. But I'm going to say the most impressive win last Friday night belongs to Black River. Over 430 yards on the ground. They just played that typical Black River physical punishing defense against Gilmore Academy. I think they opened up some eyes, and I think a lot of folks now believe Black River could win that region. Again, Al Young doesn't want to hear me say that. Don't put the cart before the horse. They've got Wickliffe on Friday night, but I think Black River had the most impressive win of the teams that we're covering last Friday.
Okay, Tim. All right, look, we're going to be back again next week, talk a little more football, and I'm not going to let you off just yet. I didn't.
Okay.
I know you love to be put on the spot. I'm going to give you a bonus question.
I'm really thinking today.
Avon or Black River making it through? Will both teams? What happens to both teams?
Well, there's no longer a CT picket line, but I'll go with Avon over Highland. I think Avon will beat Highland. I think Black River will upend Wickliffe. I like Black River's shot, so I think the 2 Lorain County schools, if we claim Black River for Lorain County, I think those 2 county schools move on.
And Olmsted Falls.
They've got a tough battle. I think it comes down to Avon and Twinsburg in that region.
Okay. All right, Tim. You're done. I'm going to let you off the hook now.
That's my LCCC picket line.
You got it. All right. So once again, tell us where we are and all the good things that go on out here.
Again, we're at the Veteran Service Center here at Lorain County Community College. Again, great idea by Steve Sefcik to have us up here for Veterans Day weekend. If you're a veteran in the area, they've got a tremendous team here at Lorain County Community College that really will work with you as far as getting back in the educational process or kind of putting together a schedule that's appropriate for you. So what an awesome way for LCC to treat the veterans here in Lorain County and throughout the area. And on this Veterans Day weekend, we tip our cap to all the veterans out there, and we thank them for their service.
Absolutely. All right, Tim. We'll talk later.
All right, let's go, Lorain County. Let's keep this thing rolling, and let's hope we're talking high school football week 13 next week.
Awesome. Take care.
All right, thanks, Bruce.